Do you know when you have like a very like vivid experience of the first time you listen to an album that was like almost so perfect to the point where it's like every time you like listen to the album and like listen to those songs, like you think of like where you were when you first heard it. Like, and I don't have this experience with like every album I've ever listened to. Like there are a lot of albums I like that like I can't remember where I was, what I was doing, like I just listened to it and like I don't really know. But like one of my favorite albums, Fine Line by Harry Styles, I will never forget the first time I listened to that album because of like the vibe I curated in that moment. Like it was insane. Like thinking about it like could bring me to tears. Like it was so beautiful. Let me set the scene for you. Okay, so I was in school. I was in the library. I was studying. Not really. So I was there in this library and it was like one of the nicer libraries. I went to school like upstate in New York. So it was like winter. And so I was like sitting by this like really huge window that like overlooked like this hill or whatever, and it was snowing. And so like already like it's a beautiful view, like it's a really nice setup, right? And then I randomly decide to like turn on this album because I'm not getting anything done. So I turned on Fine Line, and like I genuinely will never forget like me pressing play on that song and like hearing like the beginning, the intro with like the guitar, and like genuinely, and the snow is like falling down and it is so beautiful. The entire song, it just like matches the vibe perfectly, and like genuinely like talking about it, like I get chills even thinking about it again. It made the song and the album sound like 40 times better. Like I don't know if I would have liked that album and like that song as much as I did if I didn't listen to it like in that context. That set the bar so high so that every time I listened to it, I was like transported back to the time I first heard it. And then I listened to the whole album like with that view while it was snowing, and it was genuinely so beautiful and I will never forget it. And so Fine Line will always be famous to me because like the experience of listening to that album, like I'll never forget because it was just so vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know it at the time. I didn't know it before I pressed play, but like the scene that I set up was like perfect for the album. Like so yeah, I have like such positive memories like associated with the first time I listened to Fine Line that I don't have with like a lot of other albums. The day that I listened to it, like I genuinely will never forget it. And like not all albums have that, you know what I mean?